Milo walks into a coffee shop. $7. Tap. Done. At lunch, $18. Tap. Done. Later that evening, Milo sees a pair of headphones online. $69. He hesitates for about 3 seconds. Then, tap. Done. But 3 weeks later, Milo opens his credit card statement. Milo stares at the screen. How did I spend that much? Credit cards don't magically force people to overspend, but they can change what spending feels like. Milo wasn't perfect with money, but he had one useful habit. He noticed when money left. If he started the week with $100 and handed over $20, he could see that only $80 remained. That created a tiny moment of friction. Do I really want this? Even when Milo used his debit card, the purchase felt connected to money he already had. Then Milo got his first credit card. Coffee? Tap. Takeout? Tap. New shirt? Tap. Streaming subscription? 1 click. He wasn't thinking, I'm borrowing money. He was thinking, I'm buying lunch. Milo could enjoy the purchase immediately, while the full financial consequence arrived later. An extra coffee here, a delivery fee there, a subscription he probably didn't need. His brain was treating each one separately, but his statement wasn't going to show separate emotions. It was going to show the total. One useful concept here is sometimes called the pain of paying. Cash makes that trade-off visible. The money literally leaves your hand. Cards can make the payment less noticeable in the moment. Milo doesn't watch $69 disappear. He watches a pair of headphones arrive. Coffee feels like $7. Dinner feels like $25. The app feels like $12. The headphones feel like $69. Together, they're much larger. This doesn't mean credit cards are automatically bad. Today's Milo gets the reward. Future Milo gets the statement. We often give immediate rewards more weight than future costs. His credit limit is $5,000. He has only used $900. But available credit isn't the same thing as available cash. Then Milo discovers rewards, points, cash back, special offers. Milo sometimes thinks, well, at least I'm getting points. Then the statement arrives, $847. Milo starts checking his running card balance more often. If the money isn't already available for the purchase, the card doesn't magically make it affordable. For non-essential purchases, Milo creates a pause. Would I still buy this if I had to hand over cash right now? A week later, Milo sees another pair of headphones, $79. New Milo checks the running balance. Milo closes the page, not because he can never buy them, but because now the decision feels real. The smartest money systems often make the consequences visible before the decision. If you want to understand the psychology behind spending, debt, saving, investing, and wealth, subscribe to Milo's Money Mind.